right, guys, welcome to another special episode of Overshot, a paintball podcast. Just want to shout out a couple people before we start this off. Number one, Mike from the Claw Boys, our first Patreon supporter. So thank you, Mike. Hooked him up with an Overshot beanie this past weekend. His team Claw Boy actually came in third place at the TSXL. So thank you, Mike from the Claw Boys. Also want to shout out Dizana Sports. They just signed Thunder. So if you guys are a fan of Thunder, they just put up some t-shirts, some joggers. They also partnered with Patty Gleason from Thunder and Off the Leash. So definitely hit up DizanaSports.com and use code Overshot for 10% off, as well as Volcano gear bags. The hot new gear bags you sling around your shoulder. You know, rain, snow, sleet, anything like that. Definitely go out and give my man Carlos a buzz and tell him that Overshot sent you. That code is Overshot10. But coming off a fresh win in the GPX Gator Paintball Xtreme event, 10-man, we have Travis Baskin and Nick DeSarno. And welcome to the show, guys. So we'll start off with that event, and then I also know that you guys just had a big TV special. So I know, Nick, you've been on before, so we'll just pass it off to Travis. So Travis, welcome to the show, and how did you guys end up faring at that GPX 10-man event?
Oh, thanks for having me. Well, we took a first place, and
champs.
Yeah, right. That this event pretty much proved a lot what we've been working on. You know, Sundays we're going in, practicing, putting in hard work up at PSI and in Newburgh, and we've pretty much been grinding out there, working on closing games, communication, you know, a bunch of other things, time management, stuff like that, which is important in 10-man. And we really just knocked it out the park with this. Like, we were clicking on all cylinders. Like, nobody was stopping us. Like, we had a couple of hiccups here and there, but, you know, that happens along the road. But it was just an amazing job on all fronts for everybody.
Absolutely, man. And just kind of take us into, I know you said you guys have been practicing a lot, doing a lot of stuff up at, you know, Paintball Sports New York up in Newburgh, as well as Top Gun and stuff like that. So what is a normal practice routine? You know, word on the streets is, you know, I heard, you know, some people saying, you know, you guys only practice yourselves and stuff like that. So as a firm believer of, you know, I like practicing other teams. I know you guys kind of just practice yourselves and everything like that. So just kind of go into, you know, for people that aren't too familiar with your guys' practice routine. I know some people, you know, Dave might, you know, Cilio might want to keep it a little bit more on the hush-hush. Just kind of go into a your normal practice routine and stuff like that. I know you guys have been, like you said, you've been grinding real quick. You know, they can definitely check out some of you guys practicing and some things that you guys kind of do on Fox Nation. We'll definitely get into that later. You guys just released America's Secret Pastime Paintball, but just kind of go into how you guys prepared for this upcoming event. I know you guys had two teams. Your team did fairly well. You guys had another team of people you guys are trying to get up to speed, but just kind of go into that practice routine. You know, we can start off with you, Travis, and then we can go off over to Nick.
All right, I don't want to give too much information so Nick can get something here. But we pretty much start off our day 10 o'clock, and we grind till about 2.
Now, is this 10 o'clock real time or 10 o'clock paintball time? You guys balling out at 10 o'clock?
Like it's 9:30.
Yeah, we got to be there at
9:30.
So you say practice is at 9:30. Perfect. Yeah.
So we got to be there at 9:30, but we're on the field grinding at 10 o'clock. You know, you're going to hear from Kevin if you're not on that field and ready to go. So you better be there. You better be, or you
I'm not here to take no shit.
Yeah, right. So,
That's like Kevin Donaldson. That's the best I can do. I'm sorry.
So we start off basic just games, but Kevin really stresses, because we have a 10-minute clock when we go into ICPLs or any of these other events, and he always stresses we have to do what we do in 5 minutes, because that is towards the end of our game where we have to close, get the communication across the field to get that flag and get it to the other station. Because Kevin is all about getting that flag pole, number 1, and number 2, getting that flag back to your station.
He want all them points.
Yes,
all them points.
He doesn't care about the bodies. You know what I mean? If you have one body in that back corner and your wire's wide open, you better get down that corner and go for that flag.
Yeah.
he doesn't want to see you shooting.
I mean, because you're talking the difference between 1 point and 50 points.
Yes,
so
exactly.
I mean, that's kind of where Kevin's mindset is. He's thinking
and that's
about the
Woods
points.
Ball.
Yeah.
Woods Ball's all about points.
Dude, 100%. So I just want to interject real quick. It's something I definitely want to ask about before we move on. The footage of you going over the top of the bunker. I mean,
here we go.
if you haven't seen it, I'm gonna have the link to your Facebook on here. Go check it out.
Okay.
Dude, what's going through your head when you go like? So you obviously heard him, right? Do you think he heard you? And like, what's going through your like? You're literally sliding down. Go check out the video. Sliding down the other side on your stomach, clapping the guy in the side of the head. You're a fucking savage, bro. Like.
It was
so. Like right before you went over, what were you like? Oh, this guy gonna get it from over the top. Like what was going on there?
Not really. So this was like pretty early on in the point, and I was there and I'm trying to keep quiet because you can never tell if somebody's on the other side of that bunker, and I'm just like trying to keep quiet. I have Chester on my inside.
Okay.
So he's watching because there's a small little gap like in between the S2 and the Snake 50.
Okay.
So he could see if that guy makes the move or if he's in there.
Right.
And then you have Red on my back corner who protects my tape.
Big Red, baby.
You know, and he's not, you know, letting anybody come down on me, which is perfect. So I got people on my back at all times.
You're safe.
But then again, I don't want to give away my spot. So I'm sitting there very quiet. And then, like, all of a sudden, I hear a gun go off. So Big Red's in the back calling S2. I'm thinking it's the S2. So I come over the top and shoot at the S2.
Right.
I come back down and like.
You don't see that on the camera. It looks like you just sort of like. It
kind of looks like I went over top to shoot him, but I was actually shooting at the S2 because I can hear Red in my background calling S2.
Right.
So I get back down and all I hear Chester just bugging. No, Nike. So I'm like, all right, this guy's right on the other side of me.
Yeah.
And what do? The call is Nike. Just do it, right?
Just do it, baby.
So I just go over the top and get him. I mean, I was trying to like go over the top and come back down, but the way I like jumped, I was already over the other side of the bunker. Like, so I was just like, oh, and I was trying to catch myself on top of shooting the guy. So you know,
dude,
it was
sick.
fun.
It's
it was
a sick
fun.
little shot, dude. It's sick, dude.
I appreciate it.
I watched that and I was just like, damn, dude.
Yeah, mid game, I see his legs flying in the air. I'm like, what the fuck just happened? I had no idea. Like, I literally had no idea. I just see Baskin's legs, literally like scorpion, and I'm just like, all right, up Baskin.
Yeah,
it was
like
crazy.
Like, you see, like normally people run around the side, so like, yeah, to see like cleats in the air, just like, yo, what the hell happened is over there.
Got him, though, you know. At least he got him.
we actually traded, so
yeah,
I got a good one on him, and he got a good one on me, so yeah.
Yeah, that's what happens in that situation, though, man.
Hey,
I've been dying to ask you that since like that happened.
That was a crucial guy that we needed to get out, just like me. I was in a crucial spot to get the kills across field and opened it up.
Yeah, no, you got him out. Hey, it worked out because, like you said, you guys were champs. So, I mean, maybe Nick, talk about maybe more how like the prelims went. Like, how were you guys winning games decisively? Like, maybe what were some of like the tougher games you guys went through that tournament?
So I showed up a little late to the field, so I was actually sat the first game. So I got to watch the first game. Wasn't too happy about it, but it is what it is. You know, if you don't show up, you know, that's what happens. So it was actually me.
Why were you late?
You know, we had to get prepared. We had to grab some Dunkin', some food. I mean, I don't know. It was just one of those mornings.
That's like Kevin Donaldson in one sentence right there. I was late, so they sat me the first game. That's Kevin Donaldson right there.
Yeah, well, I mean, look, if you watch the show, 7:15, you know, we're supposed to be at the field at 7, and we're already, you know, getting reprimanded. But it's what you got to do as a team captain, right? Like, that's really
you hold everyone accountable.
Exactly. But just to get into the prelims, so I watched the first game with Travis Granado and Brian Casper, shout them out, and, you know, we were doing pretty well. Baskin made a sweet move all the way up into the trench, so he was about at the 50. He got there alive, which was awesome. We started getting some weasels, but out of nowhere, off the break there, we had lost a few guys really quickly who were in our back positions, and I'm there biting my nails. You know, this is something that we shouldn't be doing as far as losing bodies off the break like that. Luckily, we ended up having a nice push on the right side with Mike Ricciardi, Justin Bailey. They ended up taking that whole wire and really pushed it. and they pushed it enough to where Mike actually got to the other side of the field. Baskin, took his head off a little bit. He thought he was the enemy, and I'm just sitting there, and I'm like, "This is wild."
We gotta talk about this.
That was funny.
All right, so like,
would it be 10 men without a little friendly fire?
Yeah. This was the Woods field, okay, and it's very small. So like, me and Chester was in the middle of the field where Island is pretty much. So Mike is all the way up to my right side, and there's a bunch of palmettos that like break from where I am to the woods part is, and since there's so much trees and everything over there, it's so dark.
Can't see shit, yeah.
So I'm watching stuff going back and forth. Like I'm watching people go this way, and then I'm watching people go this way. So I have no idea what's going on over there, right?
Yeah.
And then like all of a sudden I see this head just flying at the top of the palmettos, just flying through, and just like all of a sudden it comes out, and I'm like, all right, I got him. You know what I mean? And it's like, and then
dummy.
Then it keeps coming. It's Mike, and I'm like, oh my goodness. I was like, Mike, I'm sorry. He was hauling though. He was hauling.
Man.
It was hilarious.
There was no Dunkin' Donuts call there, dude.
Yeah, it was rough. I mean, Justin ended up going to grab the flag, and I think Mike was kind of searching for kills at that point.
Yeah, he was.
You know, and I mean, Mike had no idea where Travis was. So, but it was a little messy, in all honesty. I mean, we ended up taking it, and
who was that against? I should know.
I have no idea.
Bad guys with guns. I hear you. Next game.
Yeah. I really can't remember that too much.
Yeah.
But like, that was a game that I actually watched, so it's a lot different as opposed to playing the game, right? But then I got put in the next match. So like Travis was saying, I was able to get in luckily because I wanted to play that game. I wanted to play on that field because they had these palm meadows that were in the middle of the field, right? And like, I'm just watching everything, and I'm walking the fields the day before, and I'm saying to myself, this is a bunker. Like,
this whole thing is a bunker.
Huge bunker. So me and Chris Dental, we end up playing next to each other, and I tell Chris, listen, I got to get into these palm meadows. I'm going to crawl through the palm meadows and do work
mess
as much
people
as
up.
I can. Yeah. So I get in there, and I'm crawling, and it's like, I was just like, wow, this is crazy. Like, nobody knows where I am. It's just, nobody has no idea. So, and we're getting weasels too. Weasels is our kill count, and we're getting a bunch of weasels. So I crawl all the way up. I was able to peek out one side. I shot one guy across field, which was cool. And the team was flowing. Like, the team was flowing. Like, nobody even knew where I was, and I'm just hearing weasel this, weasel that. So I'm like, all right, like,
cool,
I'm not even needed. Yeah. So then, I just out of nowhere came out of the palm meadows. I bunker this guy. Brian Casper almost blows me up because he had no idea like who I was. Like I literally just come out of a bush. Yeah. Just coming out, but it was so much fun because I mean it was just the element of surprise, and that was our matches in the woods and whatnot, and we ended up going 2-0 there, and then we went to Hyperball, and in all honesty, we were practicing a lot of the mounds when we were practicing before the event at Top Gun, because that was where all the finals were held. Not like we're like we're not familiar with Hyperball. We know how to play Hyperball, obviously.
Right in Newbury, you guys are grinding that every day.
Yeah, and we like played on the Hyperball field until it got dark. And that last game in the prelims, we shouldn't have played because it was in the dark, and we ended up losing that match, which was our only lost match for the prelims on Saturday. Strange. Yeah.
Legendary team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, based out of Florida,
So what ended up?
Let Baskin touch a little bit on Hyperball because we got pretty down and dirty on Hyperball.
Yeah. I mean, Hyperball is pretty much our home. It's kind of like the speedball type of play with a hyper pipe. You know what I mean?
Right. You guys got a young, fresh looking team.
We have the mix, right? We have that mix of the young players with the seasoned vets who have been in the game before we even
were born.
Well, I mean, to be fair though, the starting line is comprised mostly of younger gentlemen, with a Rosie.
Well, like if you look at the team on paper, 75% of the team is probably under 30 or 35. Let's throw Mike and Chris in there, and then after that you have
Casper, who's 100, so he throws
Oh my
everything
God.
off.
I still look at Casper.
Casper's
Shout
like
out
40.
Casper.
Casper's like 40.
Casper's like
Yeah.
28. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying too, dude.
Like-
I throw him in. He's the old of the young guys, but he's still in the
Yeah.
young guys. He's probably
Oh,
closer
of
to
course.
Rosie than he is to like
That's my
the
boy.
bottom end of it. But yeah, I mean, I understand. The team 2 years ago had a good mix of older and younger, but I think, and you know, correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, in the past 2 years, it's gone to a more younger, faster roster with, instead of 4 or 5 of the older guys, it's more 2 or 3 of the older guys on the field at a time.
I mean, for the most part, right? Yeah. I mean, and that's kind of like what our roster entails. I mean, that's how Kevin kind of structured the team to have a lot more younger guys than older guys. I mean, at the end of the day, you want to have the speed to get to those positions,
Yeah.
but the older guys are just as important as any of us. I mean, and they've stepped up a lot. I mean, a lot of these guys really took a step back because they're not back guys. None of them were back guys playing. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, you got to be the back guy. And then, you know, you don't really know, like, we know them. I don't know them on that level of, like, a past relation. Like, I've only known some of these guys for a year or so.
Yeah.
And you don't really even get to, like, go into depth on a lot because when you're at practice, you're practicing. You're not conversating as much as you would, you know, sitting down doing something like this.
Right.
And they really had to, like I said, take a step back, become back players, and they became really good back players because they know what we need from them because they were in that position. And I really feel like, and I'm sure Baskin will touch on this, that's something that made this team so good in the past year was that we were able to take those guys who weren't back guys and really make them so useful on the field because, I mean, you know, we go down the field fairly quickly within the game time, and that gives them the opportunity to move up the field and then become what they used to be. So it's like they're only back guy for like 2-3 minutes.
Yeah.
You know, it's
And they're
really
filling
not
up to
that
like the
hard.
middle. Yeah.
And then they get to, you know, come up the field with us, and that's really what was going down on the hyperball field. It was a lot of quick moves. We were getting to the 50s really quickly, and it was pretty hard to stop us. I mean, we were finishing the game with about 8 bodies alive almost every game.
That's almost a max score. I mean, you can't do much better than that.
Yeah.
So you guys crushed it on Hyper, and what the next part was Mounds?
All mounds for
But
Sunday.
I want to kind of go into, so that last game was strange on the hyperball field, or was that in the woods?
That was hyperball.
Hyper.
That was hyperball.
Yeah, so
So-
we were one of the later games, and that ended up happening because somebody had a medical issue, somebody had a seizure, and they ended up calling an ambulance, and that pushed the whole schedule back. So that's why we ended up playing at night.
Stay hydrated, dude.
So
Jeez,
so
dude.
so typical old man shenanigans on the hyperball field. I'm sure it's.
I don't know what went down.
I'm sure people don't get out when it's dark out, so I mean we can kind of breeze over that one, and
Pretty
then
much.
we'll get you. So something else to kind of touch on. I know you guys. So how many guys did you roll with for this event?
I think it was 13, 14.
Something like that. I think 13. Yeah, 13.
So you guys had your line with 13, and then you had another line, I know, with 12 or so individuals on that line as well. So I know they didn't fare as well in the the first day or anything like that.
They had a really tough bracket as far as the prelims went.
Yeah, I know they
They had
started
a
off.
really tough bracket.
I know they started with like 2 of the higher end,
Yeah.
quote unquote, pro teams, you know,
Yeah.
from the ICPL Adrenaline and I think Far Side and stuff like that. Now, as being more experienced players and kind of being in their shoes, a couple years back, you guys weren't dominating like you guys are recently. I mean, what's something that you can kind of say to maybe something that you've said to those guys on that team, or something that you can even say to some of these newer teams trying out mechanical paintball? Like what's a tidbit of advice or something that you could say to these kind of people that coming from you guys won 2 in a row, you guys had a 4th at a major woods ball event. So I mean, just one piece of advice, Nick, and maybe one piece of advice, Travis, that you guys can maybe give some of these guys,
I'll
or
try
something
to
that you
take
said.
this one. I'll comment after, but
It's pretty much like stick with it because you're gonna take your losses before you get your wins, right?
right.
And as
in most
that
sports, you lose way more than you win.
yeah, so we were in that same boat at one point, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, you know, when you guys put in the time and the effort and everybody's committed, it's like there's nothing like it because you become like a family.
Yeah.
Like we are, you know. This
Right.
this is like my brother, you know what I'm saying?
No.
So it's
From
like
another mother.
yeah.
Way other mother.
But no, like when
Way
the
other
tournament's over, like, bro, you'll catch all of us standing in one big ass circle. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
We're not
yeah.
deer gear and going in the car and going home.
Of
Like,
course. I mean, you know,
bro, the Massachusetts 10-man. I mean, I felt like we were like even when the tournament was over, we all had to drive home. We were still some of the last people to leave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause
No,
we're just
for sure.
chilling, dude.
Yeah.
I'm just letting you know my win-loss record. My wins is way more than my losses, so I'm just, on that one. I just want to throw that out there.
Is that fact? So
I
check
wanna
the APPA on
I
that.
want to throw that out there. I have one more than I've lost, but
Well, you've played a lot less, right? And what are we talking about that you won?
I have just as many dumb events as you won.
Oh man.
Probably even more dumb events.
Mm.
Probably even more dumb
But to
events.
touch on your question, I really think what it comes down to is growing pains. Because for a long time, I mean, I think the team has a lot of raw talent, but it's not about players, right? Like, I've said it in the past, we don't have any hired guns. It's all players that love the game, and truly grew a really special bond from the game and just local guys, that you know of. And, I mean, you'll see on our roster, all of us, and then a few from other teams like, Chester and Red and whatnot. It's just one of those things where, you go through your growing pains, and like Travis was saying, as long as you're committed, you show up to practice, and you have a figure or whomever where he gets you, Kevin Donaldson gets you on the same page as everybody else that's on the team, it really changes things up because now you're playing like a team and it's a team sport. And I feel like that kind of gets lost. Like, players think that they're going to win a game. You're not going to win a game. You're not.
Yeah.
Just because you're whoever you think you are, like, on a team, you're not going to win the game. Like, I'm sorry. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, this is a team sport. Like,
And I feel like that's something that people really don't really think of, and they think that they could throw together, these group of killers that, don't know how to work together because it's a team sport.
dude, working together is so important. Like, I listen to a lot of paintball content, and I listen to, like, Tyler and Greenspan, and you watch them go throwing with the D4 team, and he's like, yeah, dude, I got bunkered by the D4 guy because the dude behind me wasn't looking. He's like, I'm so used to just trusting, like, the guy in my corner to be looking this way. Like, I didn't even think, and yeah.
It's so true. It really is.
Greenspan's
so true.
getting bunkered out by D4 kids. It happens if the dude's not watching your
Yeah.
back. It
I
doesn't
went
matter
to
how good
Cousins.
you are.
I went to Cousins. I was playing with you, Carter, and whoever else. And Carter's bunkering me.
Yeah.
And it's because I don't got anybody in my
Watching
corner
your back.
watching me.
Yeah.
I'm not like a god at paintball by any means, but like it's just one of those
That's
things
why
where
it's a team sport. Yeah, dude.
And yeah, I mean, definitely you got to keep sight of that, right? So like your question was just about, what you would give teams. Stick together. You gotta, like, I
Build
told
that
him,
bond.
like, we got something special, and like there was, some splittage or whatever, if you will, and I think that's really important, is to stick with the people that, you feel like you gel with. But it's hard, man, because people have other things in life, right? Like, you have your job, you have your family, and putting paintball into the mix, like, there are people that sacrifice a lot for paintball, there are people that don't or try to, but they can't, and like, it's a lot, man. It's a full-time job running a
Or
team.
people that think they're sacrificing when in the grand scheme of things are really not.
Yeah, for real. But like, luckily we've been committed. And it's a 10-man team. It's not even like it's an X-ball team where there's less people. Like, it's even bigger, and everybody's been showing up, and we've been putting in the work. We've been listening, and everyone's been on the same page, and we're not content either. I mean, we came off these 2 wins, but I don't think anybody is stopping.
Still hungry.
Yeah, dude. Well, you're on the top now. You got everyone coming for you. Like,
Exactly.
you're not going to be the team that's slept on anymore. Like, dudes are going to be
But
coming
we're still
for you.
humble, like, we placed 14th in Chicago. It sucked, but at the end of the day, I was like, yo, we got to keep this, because we saw it, like, it was developing, and it did.
You use it to fuel you. You don't let it defeat you.
Yeah.
Because you just can't. Like, I feel like if you have the mentality of when you lose, you get defeated, like, you're never gonna overcome that, you know. Especially like I know it's not so much maybe in 10-man, it means more like an X-ball thing, but if you drop the first 2 points and you're walking back to the pits and you're kicking the paint on the floor and you're like throwing your pods down like ugh, like dude, how do you expect to go out there and perform? Like
that's what the other team wants to see.
That
right?
exactly, dude. 100%.
They know they got you, right?
Right? They go back and you guys are yelling like, well, you were looking this way, fuck you. And dude, if I'm in the other pits, I'm like, you hear that over there? You hear that over there? I was like, you can't, dude. You gotta walk back. You put your pods down. Hey, dude, next time I need you to look right, dude. Okay, so we gotta do this. Yo, it's fucking out. Yo, next point, let's go out and get this dude right. Boom.
Exactly.
That's the kind of mentality that needs to be had. Yeah. And without those grown, like again, that circle around the truck after the tournaments and stuff, it's so tough. Like that's why I think the black team is gonna have a hard time until they really solidify, because it's hard to trust the dude. Like I mean, I played that in the 10-man in Massachusetts with them, and like we got third. But dude, we played like shit, dude. Like we didn't really play well. Like like in granted, by hook by crook, whether it's 1 point or 20, you move on. But like we still got on. But we were not like destroying teams. Like bro, our communication was
why would you destroy teams?
Dude, and you're right.
Because you're a good fucking player.
But no, why?
Because you're a good fucking player, dude.
No, it doesn't matter if you have a good player, bro. You gotta work together.
Let me tell you this. The number one thing that you say that irritates the hell out of me, and let's get back on this, is it's hard to win a tournament. It's not hard to win a fucking tournament in paintball. It's not.
Then win the next tournament. Enter a tournament and win it. If it's easy, dude, do it.
I got you. Long live paintball. February 7th. I will win the motherfucking tournament.
Perfect. And if you don't win it, good. No more of this. Oh, winning a paintball tournament's so easy.
It's not hard. I'm not saying it's easy, but I'm saying it's not hard. You make it seem like it's harder than it is. It also depends on the level. It also depends on the level. If you take so this is where I'm gonna do. If you take Derek Jeter and you play slow pitch softball, it is an easy fucking win. Mm-hmm. So if you take guys that should be playing a level higher than they are, and you go and play the Boston NEPL like we fucking did, it was easy to win. It wasn't a hard tournament. Yeah. I'm not saying there aren't tournaments that are hard, but there are tournaments that are easier than others. And I'm not saying everything is and it's expect to give me win, but what I'm trying to say though is it isn't as hard to it isn't as hard to win a Gator as it is to win an ICPL. It's not hard, and maybe it's because I have more faith in certain individuals. But when and this is how I am, and this is why I get in trouble with a lot of people in paintball, is I go there, and I expect to win, and then when I win, I'm not even excited that I won, because I expected to win. Mm-hmm. Because why would you play something that you don't expect to win? It's hard to win a tournament when you don't prepare before it. That's the only reason why it's hard. If you prepare, it is not hard.
These guys went to they didn't play with you. They didn't even have a practice. Why are they supposed to win the event if they've never even practiced with one another?
Why would you go to an event? Why would you go to an event without playing with the team that you're going with?
Well, I mean, listen. At the end of the day, like they decided to enter an event.
I don't do that.
I mean, like, this was the first time that like second team went anywhere as well. So
No, listen. No disrespect.
Listen, there were a group of guys, right, that were in the mix at practices. We were talking about an event. Mm-hmm. We said we're playing this event. There are 10+ guys that could also potentially play this event. Do you guys want to play? Everyone said yeah. I mean, that's what they did, and like
I'm not saying that they should expect to. I'm all right. So listen, I'm not saying they should expect to win. But
sounds like it.
I'm telling you right now.
Roll the clip.
If I won one game, I would quit. I would quit paintball. One game, I'll tell you right now. I am the worst paintball player besides Steve Darcy in the paintball universe. Shout out Steve Darcy. But
Steve did not deserve that shot.
One game, and let's bring up another thing.
One game or a tournament?
They won one game. How do you win one game, dude?
This past event you're talking about?
Wait, how can you win one game? I don't remember the last time I won one game in a tournament.
You're talking about Florida?
Yeah, how do you win one game?
I'm telling you that they had a hard bracket against teams.
Dude, they lost to the slime balls, dude. The slime balls. The guy's like 97 years old.
I don't know the slime ball history, but I do know that they played Adrenaline, Far Side, Misfits.
I'm not saying those games they shouldn't lose.
All A's.
I mean, come on. These teams have been around forever. It's a throw-together team.
that's only been together for
These
2
people
I'm not
weeks.
saying
hold
they have
on,
to be
hold
that.
on.
You can't.
They
dude,
didn't
I'm talking
even
one
know
game.
each other.
I'm not saying they should win the tournament.
They
against
didn't
those guys.
even know each other. There were people meeting each other for the first time.
Yeah,
They're supposed to win more than one game. I think it was impressive that they won one fucking game.
Yeah.
Well, that's what that, dude. I mean, well, that's where the difference lies, dude. That's you're impressed with one game. I am not impressed with one game, dude.
Especially against who the fuck they played.
Dude, I'm not impressed with one. Dude, there was other teams. There were slime
You're not
balls,
giving them any
murder
credit.
goons.
They deserve
Savage
credit.
Everybody
They went
there
out, they
was
went
good
out there.
teams,
They
man.
went out there and they fucking balled too. Like it wasn't like they got spanked up. Like those guys went out there every single
This
time,
is where we see different, dude.
and you know they did what they had
This
to
is
do.
where we see different. The same reason why, and we'll bring it
Just
up
looking
now,
at scores
is why
that-
I got mad that 2 players that didn't win, that won one game all weekend, took an individual picture with a trophy that was not theirs.
It's not that, but that.
Hold on. Let me finish.
Do
I
that.
have no problem everybody taking a group picture. You're all one big team. You're all one big family. But to take an individual picture with a trophy that you did not deserve is selfish. It is the same type of person that will go and rent a fancy car and pretend it's their car, or will go take a picture next to a Lamborghini. That's not theirs. I listen. I understand they're part of the team. You take the team picture. I took the team picture. I was in Massachusetts. I took the team picture.
Yeah.
But I did not take your trophy that you won with the first place thing and hold it up and go like this and pass it off like I won an event.
All right, let me piggyback
There's
off
a
of that a
difference.
little bit. I understand what you're saying, but after those guys got knocked out, who was out there picking up our pods? Who was filling our paint? Who was making sure we had air? Who was making sure we had water? I will give it to them. They put in the work just as much as we did. We needed them to win.
I
You
had
know
a
what I'm
gun
saying?
go down.
Right,
We
but
had
that's
back-to-back
Yeah.
why
final
you take
matches.
The team picture. That's why you can take the team picture. I think there's
you're
a
hung up on a
there's a-
picture that you're really looking into. I like Travis saying, I could see where you're coming from.
Hold on though.
Everyone
There's two individuals in the picture that I recommended for the group. There's another individual in that picture that has a history of showboating and pretending he's a part of a thing
Listen,
that's not his.
You take it up with him. You know, like we're talking about paintball and our team, and at the end of the day,
Listen,
they helped us.
that's fine.
It's one picture.
That's fine. They can play for you guys,
I mean,
and that's
you know,
fine.
it is what
as,
it
as
is.
someone that's running a team, I would never want a player like that on my team. That will take a picture with a trophy that they did not earn. I'm not saying a group picture. Group picture is different than an individual taking a picture with a trophy
I mean,
that they didn't deserve.
it wasn't like they posted the picture and captioned saying like we won
Champs.
first
People thought
place.
they won. Hold on. But people thought they won. People thought they won the event. Thousands of people were saying congratulations.
Listen, at the end
That
of the
they
day,
were a part of
Oh,
it.
you
At the
look
end of the
deep
day-
into it, huh?
Yeah, like at the end of the
That
day,
it.
we're a team, right? And like I get where you're coming from, but at the same time, we're a team. It's one picture. It's one guy. Like I get it, but what are we trying to do here? You know, like
Right, I agree with you, Nick. Not to butt in, but I mean, I don't know why we're talking so secretive. Jacob's 16 years old, man. Like,
let him hold the trophy.
dude, when I was 16
He
years
didn't post the fucking picture though. You want to know why? Because he doesn't want to be fucking Craig. He doesn't want to be Craig taking a picture with the trophy in a Mustang, dumping paint on him. He doesn't want to be a James is beautiful at Instagram. Shout out James, taking pictures with trophies they don't deserve. Do you want? Listen, I get it. Some people want to be a part of it, and some people want to be the person doing it, and that's fine. You want to be a part of it, dude? Fine, you can be the 15th man in a roster.
But, like, he
I
know-
know,
but, like,
I
he
know
knows.
those kids don't want to be the 15th man in a roster.
Yeah.
They want to be playing next to Nick. They want to be playing next to Baskin. They don't want to be, a Tony or a Johnny Red getting their 1 or 2 spins in. They don't want that. They want to be a player. They don't want to be the guy on the side. And that's where it comes to the
You
difference.
got to put the time and effort in, man. That's all
Exactly.
it comes
And
down to.
exactly, they got to put the time and effort in to reap those awards.
Yeah.
I don't think you skip the step to reap the award and
Yeah.
pretend you're a part of something that you can pretend you're a part of it. All right, I get it. Take the picture, celebrate with the team. I do it. I've done it. But to take it, I think it's very selfish and individualistic to take a team picture and pass it off like it's yours.
It's on that
Trophy.
individual. Yeah. So I mean, like I said, take it up with him.
Take it up with him.
Yeah.
No, I was just trying to get you.
Like he
get you
knows,
in.
like he knows that he didn't. Like it wasn't him on the field, but again, like we're a team, and We had back-to-back points. They were filling pods. I had a gun go down. It was like a Formula One race, and it was like pulling the pit and get my tires changed. Here you go. Here's a gun. Here's a hopper. I'm wiping you down.
So do you think the Water Boys should get World Series?
I don't know. I don't go into.
Do you think the Water Boys should get a World Series ring? We'll just end it with this.
I mean, they put the work in too, you know.
All right,
so
I mean, they do.
So the Water
I
Boys,
mean, the assistant to the assistant to the
really
assistant coach gets a ring.
Yeah.
this is the World Series of baseball, but there you go.
Even the Super Bowl too, like Super Bowl rings end up in pawn shops because the assistant to the assistant to the assistant defensive coordinator gets one too. Do you know what I'm saying?
And they're smart and they pawn it the fuck off. So we'll end that on that one. Because they didn't earn it.
Right, because we got to move on. We spent a good 15 minutes sawing down Jacob and Russell, so.
Dude, all good, dude. So we're coming in. They're coming in hot Sunday on the Tim Montresor Mound Field. Shout out, R.I.P. Tim Montresor. I know they did a little, speech and a ceremony and everything like that. They dedicated it to Tim. Tim's parents were there. So all final games were played on the mounds. You guys had a couple prelim games before that, I believe, too. On Sunday?
We did on mounds, right? Yeah.
Okay, so who'd you guys end up playing, or if you don't remember who you played? How'd that end up going? I know you guys ended up winning out, but
I don't remember who we played first. Do you?
I know we played Misfits twice, and I'm trying to remember. Oh, and then we also played Farside.
No, we definitely. Well, our second game was definitely all A's.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
which I remember for sure because
but I think then the first was Misfits.
It probably was because we faced Misfits so many times.
I was like, these dudes are back again.
Yeah, but the all A's game was like one of those games where we had enough points behind us, and it really didn't matter. So Kevin's like, because we're gonna see them in the semis, right? Mm-hmm. And then Kevin's like, listen, use this game to do something else, figure out a different route to where you want to go.
Right, don't show them your hand and try and get some knowledge instead.
So, we went out there not with the foot on the gas. We were mediocre on it. And it was weird for me because me, I'm always
all gas no brakes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Right off the brake. So me holding up and trying to do something different got shot off the brake. It is what it is. It happens. You know what I'm saying? But
you said to do something different. I did something different. I got shot.
Yeah. So it's like it's kind of funny. But as I got off the field and I watch, I'm pretty much looking at the A's coming down the field and just wrecking us, and I'm like, all right, but that's showing me exactly what they're doing.
Right, this is how they close the game. Right.
How they close the game, which bunkers they were in, stuff like that. Kevin saw the same thing on the sideline, but that box is on the other side of the field, so you get to see Mike Ricciardi's side, the whole D side or whatever you want to call it, and it was just good to know because on that snake side you have a lot of cross field shots.
Right.
So when we do see them in the semis, I know that guy's gonna be there. I'm shooting the blind shot and he's out of it. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that was a game that I really sat down and did my homework a little bit as I was sitting there in the dead box.
Mm-hmm. You got it, dude.
Yeah, for sure. Do you know anything about the Misfits game? Because that I kind of blanked that out. Yeah.
So so they're all coming down, but you guys end up winning that game either way though.
The A's game, no, we definitely lost that.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So you guys did lose that. You guys did lose a game.
Yeah, I think because then we saw them again, right?
Yeah, we saw them in the semis.
And that was the crazy point where Red got the flag, and then they were running back with our flag, and then they shot Red, right? Was that? I'm pretty sure that was the adrenaline game.
I don't know. It might have been the adrenaline game, but they never shot Red. They were both clean.
Oh.
But they got the hang, and we got
we got the pull.
Yeah,
then he shot Red after he hung. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, so he couldn't have shot Red out anyway because once
they hang, the game's over.
Exactly. So there was no way he was gonna shoot him.
Well, maybe I don't know. Maybe.
I mean, he may have shot him after the.
He might have got. I'm pretty sure he got shot up. I don't know.
Because that's what I would have done.
No, I'm saying Red. Okay, so this is what. I don't know the full details.
A little confusion out there on the 10-man field.
I don't know the full details because it was a crazy point.
Yeah.
So we played against Adrenaline.
Because there's footage at this point too. I can't tell what the fuck is going on.
I think it was semifinals.
It wasn't the semis.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
making it out semifinals, it's you, Adrenaline.
Yeah.
All Americans or no?
Oh, wait a second. Maybe it was an all A's game.
All right.
It's
Either
so
way.
hard. I'm so bad at this. We should honestly, with these podcasts, we should have a list. That way I don't have to try to
Yeah,
think.
yeah.
And
You
then
probably
black
pulled it
out
up.
about every game.
Probably
And
pulled it
I
up.
can,
It
I
all
can
mixes
remember it.
together.
You
know.
remember the games
Was
you
it-
lost, which isn't many, so you
Because
don't
then we
remember
were
the games
having
you
a
win.
dispute about something or the other. I don't know. It was
Well, that-
right?
that-
What was that all about?
That game was the A's game in the semis. So it ended up dwindling down to the end, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I believe Major was thrown.
Ooh, the red.
Yeah. Or yeah, I know a flag was thrown. It might not be a red exactly, but a flag was thrown, and there was only like. No, it was definitely a major because there was two bodies on the field, and a major you got to pull
so
three.
in semifinals, you guys played the Misfits first, which was a 20-20 game. So you guys tied that one, and then you played Farside, beat them 93-14.
Yeah, good game.
And then Adrenaline Master Blasters, they beat you, but 35-91.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess that was enough points to get you guys to
That
advance.
was the game that went crazy.
Okay, yeah. So
Red ended up being the only one alive on the snake side.
Right.
They completely blew the other side of the field up. Red snuck around all the way down to the corner on the top
Got their
tee.
flag.
As the guy from Adrenaline got
Was
their
running
flag
back.
and was running back, right? Literally, they pass each other. You know what I mean?
It
So
was-
Red's coming this way. He grabs.
Hey,
the
what are
flag.
you doing here?
He grabs the flag, right, and then comes around the bunker this way as this guy runs around the bunker on the other side. So they go past each other.
Some Tom and Jerry shit.
Yeah, and then once he hung the flag, that's when he shot him. But he doesn't get eliminated for that.
He got the
wild.
him getting the pull though gets you guys
That was
advanced.
that was enough points that we needed.
That's what saved us.
That's a smart heads up play by Red,
Mhm.
honestly.
Yeah.
No, it was.
Because if not, you guys don't advance.
But
So-
that's what Kevin bangs into our head. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Flag.
yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
He was the only one on that side, and
Yeah.
he had a great shot on somebody. I think he might have shot two dudes actually. Yeah, he did. And then he got to that flag. Got to that pull station, grabbed that flag.
Way to go, Red. Have a fucking game.
So luckily you guys, made it on past that round, and you guys end up having it's All Americans, Misfits, and Murder Goons.
Mm.
So this is the finals now, and you have your first game against All Americans. It was a 42-16. So it looks like nobody hung.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like you guys just got the
that was
42
the,
who?
this was the game.
You.
This was the game that
42 you guys.
that dispute went on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That I was just explaining about. They got a flag, and there was two bodies left, and they needed to pull three. So I don't know exactly what happened. Rosie was talking it out with the head refs and Rico from the field, and I guess Special was there from All A's, and they were talking it out. But I don't know how Rico's rule system was, but if you have a major and you only have two bodies and you have no one to pull,
If you ask me, the point's over right there.
points over and the other team gets the points, right?
Right.
So I don't know exactly how that happens or how he was running his rule book, but
Yeah. I think we ended up.
We don't know
getting
what
the
happened.
pull.
We know the
You
score of the
guys-
game.
You guys end
We
up
got the
by-
pull.
they did
We
end up
agree-
getting
yeah,
the pull and
we
survived.
agreed
we got
to
the
the
pull, and
Yeah.
a couple bodies were dropped, but we still got those points what we needed to be on top.
Right, because I mean this is the final, so realistically, if you have more points this game, if you have another high point next game, that's pretty much lock.
Yeah.
And that's what ended up happening.
That's what ends up happening, and
Pretty
you
sure
guys
with
end
the
up playing
Misfits.
the Misfits.
Yeah.
Again.
Oh,
That was
this
game.
game. I love
That was
this
fun.
game.
That was on TV too.
Oh,
Facebook.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Facebook is pretty much TV these days.
Yeah, right.
So what ended up happening in that Misfits games?
You want me to start?
Go ahead.
All right,
Go
so,
ahead, dude.
so this game,
Sure show.
off the break, Snake 50, of course.
Where else would you be, dude?
Yeah, and it got maybe early to mid game, and Rocky was to the right of me.
Mm-hmm.
Rocky Cagnani, if I say it, Cagnoni.
Cagnoni,
There you go,
Cagnoni.
Sorry.
Ravioli, whatever.
He was there.
Legendary player.
Yeah, he was
You
there
guys are
just.
stunner.
He was there just ripping on me, bro. Just
Yeah.
ripping on me. So I couldn't do nothing on the inside. And like I'm telling Chester, yo, right in front of you. And then like all of a sudden, Cilio comes out of nowhere. Dave Cilio, love this dude, right? He's one of the older guys, but you know, since we've progressed as a team, he's gotten better because he doesn't have to worry about us. So he's out there having a ball right now.
Right, iron sharpening iron. He's got to get better because you guys are.
Yeah, exactly.
He's
so
got a nice battle axe on his neck too. So.
yeah. So he comes flying through the middle, and he's actually in a position to where he can go and over the top and do Rocky.
Right.
But I don't want to put it to where Rocky can tell exactly when I'm telling Dave to go, right? So me and Dave are over there sign language. Like I've never done this with anybody before on the paintball field. And it's like, it was so, like he understood exactly what I meant.
Yeah.
By just going like this, which he was right in front of me, so I'm pointing right here, and then I'm like, somebody's got to go get him. So he points at me, and I'm like, think about it for a second. And I'm like, no, you gotta go do it. And then I'm like, Chester, set him up.
Yeah.
Me and Chester, like we read each other's mind like no other. So like he already knows what the deal is, and he shoots cross field just so the guys don't shoot Dave from the inside,
right,
on the D side, and Dave does the dude, and I mean he's going all out, you know, he's having a ball. So
yeah, he knows it's for the win.
Yeah,
so.
exactly. So you know that was pretty fun and cool to watch, and then after that, you know, we just kind of cleaned up
And celebrated, dude, right?
Yeah.
Well, they got one last game against the Murder Goons. I don't know too much about them. I think they're from down that way. I think they're like X-Ball dudes from down that area.
Yeah, they're all X-Ball guys.
D2 X-Ball.
I think those guys played really well because it was like their first 10-man, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And they were out there killing it.
Right.
I can't really remember too much about the game, but I think it was mid to late in the game. I remember I was still in. I got into their Snake 2, and I was trying to set up to get down the field. So I'm trying to get Big Red, who's in my corner, trying to get him up behind me so we can set something up to go.
Right.
Because, you know, they're dwindling down on the bodies and the time's running. So I'm like, yo, we got to make moves, right?
Uh-huh.
So I'm setting up, getting ready to go, and, like, I take a step just to get ready to go.
Right.
And I see this dude in the God, and I swear if I took another step, he would have just blew my head off. Right? So I come back in, I'm like, nah, it's not happening. It's not happening. A second later, somebody shoots the dude out. I don't know who it was. Granado. He shoots the dude out. I'm like, all right, it's open, right? So I'm hauling ass to that back corner. It ends up being a home guy. And I got into their S1, and I was getting ready to go to the back corner, so I popped the top. I swear the dude almost shot me. It went right past my head.
That Matrix mode.
Yeah. So, like, I saw him shooting. I'm like, oh, okay. So I missed that one.
It's always a good feeling when you pop out and you know you should have been shot, and you could, like, feel it going this way, but you're like, just made it.
For real. You feel that wind go right past your head, right? So that happens. I end up coming out, getting them in, so I make that move just so all eyes on me, right?
Right, you want to take all the heat.
Yeah, I take all the heat, get all his attention, and then those guys come up, do them, right? So that's what ended up happening. We took the game. I believe a little bit of words were exchanged.
Yeah, the New Yorker guys were talking shit.
No.
Not us. Afterwards, yeah. But we had 8 bodies alive.
So what were they saying? What were these Murder Goons saying?
So like after we won, they were like, play us an X-Ball, and you know it was funny because Rico's recording, and if you go back to that game, he's like, they want to play him on the Xbox. So, he's like, the Murder Goons want to play the Blasters on the Xbox.
Get these boys some controllers.
Yeah, right.
It was so funny.
No, that's too funny. It was like, I mean, not to go too much deep story, but I mean, it's not like you guys don't play X-Ball, man. So I mean, you might get what you ask for sometimes, dude.
MVPS.
I mean, we told him we'd play him.
Wait, hold on. MVPS is in a couple weeks. Hold on. Let's see when we're going out. Flying down, dude.
Kevin, book the flights.
Kevin, book it. Talk to a travel agent, dude. So, with that being said, so you guys win the event. It's 2 in a row now. What's the next major event for you guys as a team? Is it for Master Blasters? And just kind of go into, what do you guys have left up on the 2021 schedule?
I think our next event's like 5 months away from when I spoke to
ICC or
Kevin
something
last.
like that, right?
ICPL maybe in June? OXCC?
Yeah, but
Oh, yeah.
let's touch on our giveaway that we got going on
Oh,
now.
yeah,
So we
yeah,
got a $1,600 paintball package giveaway going on.
I
All
saw
right?
this.
So you got to follow us on Facebook
Done
and
deal.
Instagram. You have to tag 3 people in the
Done,
comments
did
to
it.
the page, and then you just post your subscription to Fox
Did it.
Nation. We didn't even touch on the Fox Nation show.
Dude,
No, that's what we're going to.
there next,
Oh,
dude.
okay.
Right now.
But
So
I want to talk about what we got on the package deal. So we got an NXL/ICPL 5-man entry,
right.
push
So that's-
goggles,
So let me be clear. So that's an ICPL 5-man Woods Bowl entry or
or
an
NXL. Correct.
Okay, cool. All right, and Philly's coming up, so I mean, if
Yeah,
you guys
I mean-
are local or wherever, dude, we're worldwide. Master Blasters
Yeah.
are worldwide. They're going to be going to Croatia, I believe, next year also, and
Yep,
the
yep.
UK. So definitely, reach on out to and definitely get in on that. I mean, I know it lowers my chances to win, but F it, dude. Everybody should subscribe, even if you don't even play, dude. This is how you can get in. You have enough gear to get right.
Yeah, so we're
Basic-
giving away, like I was saying, the whole entry fee. We're doing push goggles, carbon jersey, barrel. We got a Mortal Air tank. We got a Planet Eclipse M170R.
That's what you guys are rocking.
Yep.
Yeah.
So basically,
Shout
the
out
Master
Planet
Blasters
Eclipse.
package, whatever you guys rock.
We got Zodiac pack, Valken paint. If you win, you want to come out to practice with us. We welcome anybody always. We got that in there as well. There may be something that I'm missing out that I'm just trying to think about.
'Cause there's a lot of bullet points. You guys are giving away a lot of stuff. I feel
it's
like you've missed
$1,600
Yeah.
worth of paintball equipment that's literally free.
Yeah.
I mean, you sign up to Fox Nation, it's free for a 7-day free trial. Show us your subscription.
It was 99 cents, right, for a little bit? Is that
So
still
this is
going
the
on?
thing, like they have 2 different packages. So
Okay.
there's the Patriot, so it's a 7-day free trial, right? And then after 7 days, that account would then go into effect. I think it's $60 for the year, which when you do the math is close to
Right, that's the one I
nothing.
did. It's like something like $6 or something a month or whatever.
Yeah, so there's that, and then they have the
Dude, I
99
signed up.
cent.
I canceled 99 cents, dude. Best 99 cents.
Yeah, and then they have the 99 cent for a month trial,
Okay.
and then after that, I think it's like I don't know what it is per month. or
Right.
whatever.
Dude, just sign up, dude. $1 for
Sign up,
paintball.
watch a show,
If
it's
you can't
awesome.
spend $1 or $5, dude, you guys need to do this. So just to reiterate what Nick was saying, I got the graphic here. You got the 5-man entry doing NXL or ICPL, Planet Eclipse M170R, push goggles, 98 cubic inch Immortal Tank N-Reg, carbon jersey, carbon IC camo barrel. Dude, that sounds hot. 2 cases of
Those barrels
Valkyrie
are hot.
P80 and a Zodiac pack. So they got that giveaway, and then there's also another giveaway here I see,
Yep.
Nick, for a Sandana headband.
$200 headband, pretty much the same thing. Like, share, tag a friend, and show your subscription to Fox Nation.
Made
Like-
from Ryan Bricker, by the way. He does a lot of work.
Big
on,
Red.
yeah, a lot of work on the headbands, and he has his own company called Red Band.
Red band, okay.
So check him out.
Oh, I'm definitely going
can.
to check him out. I didn't
Yeah.
know that.
Yeah, he's got his
Oh,
own
yeah,
thing.
He
Man.
makes some really nice headbands.
Oh, I got to pick one up.
Handcrafted, he takes all of his time to make sure that the headband is like perfect. He takes a lot of craftsmanship into what he does. I was talking to him on the phone for a little while, and he loves paintball. So
Yeah. Oh, no, I'm definitely going to him up. I love supporting my dudes.
Yeah.
So maybe talk about, like, some of the reactions you've gotten from the show. Like, I mean, we were talking about a little bit before. Like, I'm a huge fan. I thought it was great for paintball and just the exposure I got of being Fox News. What are some of the things people have said about it, like, in the aftermath? And now that's been out for a little bit, I'm sure I know I hit you up, like, right after I watched. I was like, dude, good shit, man. And I'm sure I wasn't the only one. So what were some other things people have said about it that are really, you're like, oh, this is cool, man?
I mean, everybody enjoyed the show. Honestly, I didn't really hear any negative connotation from any of it. Everybody
great.
really liked it. I mean, we have a lot of comments from pretty much everybody just saying how much they liked it. And then I was getting phone calls, which was funny because Fox put out a commercial. So we actually had a commercial going for I think it's still running.
That's sick, dude.
So yeah, you'll see, a commercial of like kind of like the highlights of the playing and like a little bit of the interviews, and it's really cool. It's really surreal. Yeah.
Dude, it had to
Let
be
Travis
like
touch on it too.
yeah, the whole experience. Dude, see, to talk about like, dude, what was it like, dude, being in cameras and you know the mic wasn't this close, the mic was probably up here, dude. So what was it like filming all those interviews, dude, and like, I don't know, just touch a little bit on the whole experience if you can.
It was kind of weird at first.
I mean, it's
know?
crazy. I mean, let's not cut it short. You guys were on
You know,
motherfucking TV. It's
just
kind of
like,
weird, right?
It was just like one day we showed up and cameras were there. I'm like, well, what's all this about? You know,
Yeah.
we kind of knew about it beforehand, but I just wasn't ready for it. You know what I mean?
I don't think anyone knew like how serious it was.
Yeah.
You're like,
Right.
yeah, all right, Kevin. Okay.
Once
yeah.
they got there, they got the tripod set up with a big camera. They got all types of GoPros. They
Yeah.
got the drone in the air. You know, it was kind of crazy.
Dude,
I
the
heard
footage
you
they were
had some
getting.
special love with the camera too.
Oh yeah,
We
that.
touched on to that the other episode.
I know. I mean, if you want to talk about it, we can talk about it.
I
but-
mean, we spoke about it, you know, just kind of get your, let me just real quick get like a glimpse of like, you know, so new camera crew, you know, kind of set us, you can go back to our other episode, you know, we definitely spoke about it, Nick spoke about it, Chris spoke about it, but, you know, now that we got the man in the house here, what ended up happening? I know new camera crew, game starts, and, you know, basically you collide with the cameraman, but kind of get your view of it.
So it was 5 man. You know, we were there to study the field, so I wanted to see exactly how easy it was to make it to the 50 snake. First game of the day, you know what I mean? So I'm hauling, you know, foot on the gas like always. And I honestly never seen the guy until I got to that bunker and was already going forward.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I
It's
can
on the
remember
show.
like thinking in my head, "Oh fuck."
Yeah, you're just Marshawn Lynch,
You know
this
what
dude.
I mean? Like, and there was no way I could stop myself.
Yeah.
You know, my
Dirty full
momentum
momentum.
was going forward. You know what I'm saying? And like, I tried to put my hand down. I tried to put my foot down, and like nothing I could do to stop myself. And I literally smacked right into the back of the camera.
So bad.
And like, I chipped my tooth. And it was like, it was so weird because I felt like I got punched in the face. That's how hard I hit the camera, right? So like, I'm trying to get myself together. I like crawl up to the bunker and I'm like, no way, dude. Like, I'm like putting my tongue up to my tooth and I'm like,
Cutting your tongue.
I just chipped my tooth. Is this fucking serious, right?
Whistling as you
So
talk.
I'm still trying to get myself together, and it was weird because I was trying to talk to Big Red at the time, and like I had this weird fucking sensation. Bro. Like any like word that came out, I guess like the cold wind going in
Would irritate,
yeah,
right?
It was irritating the fuck out of me. So I was just like, yo, I have to get off this fucking place. So I went down. It opened up where it was a 2-on-1 on our side. So I went down and did the guy, and I don't know what happened exactly after that because I was in so much
Blur of the
pain.
moment.
Spitting
You know,
blood, yeah.
got off the field, and I'm like trying to get myself together, and I'm like, fuck, dude, this really fucking hurts. So I like kneeled for a second, and all I remember is Chris coming over to me. He's like, yo, are you okay?
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, I just chipped my fucking tooth. And he's like,
It was
are you
so
serious?
bad.
I'm like, look at my fucking tooth, dude. I was
Straight
pissed.
hillbilly.
You know what I mean? But hey, I fucking got rushed over to the dentist and they took care of me, you know?
Yeah.
Patched them up, played the whole event.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say, here you go, smile wide as ever, dude.
Yeah,
Back
yeah.
at it.
And
Right.
you actually see it on the show. So with the show, there was a lot. The way that they edited it was a lot of like clips.
Yeah.
And if you can catch it, it's in one of the it's right when we start playing, and you see the camera's kind of low, and it's on the left side, and you just see Baskin hauling ass and immediately collide, and then like it kind of like breaks.
Cut.
And we were all
Cut!
like, "Yo, that was when he broke his tooth." Like, it was crazy.
Tooth was broken, fat lip, you know, my lip was
All
fucking
9
huge.
yards.
Yeah.
But that's what happened. Like, so when we had the camera crew at the practices, you know, the first time we showed up, they were trying to figure out like what the hell paintball even was, you know. And
Right.
what was really cool at the end of the day when they were, you know, finished after like a few times filming us, they just loved it, and I got so much more joy from that than them like filming us. It was really weird. Like they would leave and they would just have smiles on their faces, and because I was like kind of. Not like I guess a little like, you know, how are they gonna take this? Like how, like, you know, it's Fox. Like are they kind of built for, you know? Yeah, I mean, like are they built to like handle, you know, a show like this? Not like any discredit to them whatsoever because they did an amazing job
Great
with
job.
Right.
this film. Like
Definitely.
it is, And like, yeah, I'm a little bit biased, but like they did such a great job. Like I was blown away at what they did.
The gameplay footage was surreal, dude.
Very good.
Yeah.
Very good.
And it's and it's Fox. Like
Yeah.
you don't know like that they're gonna be able to do something like that because they don't really have like that outlet in a sense, like there are a lot of interviews.
Paintball's not easy to film either.
It's not.
No.
And
Right.
like, especially for a crew that has never filmed paintball. Like I'm telling you, they had no idea what was going on, and they figured it out. And then once they got all that footage together, I mean, they pieced it together so well. I don't know. I mean, like,
I don't know how they matched up those games the way they did, because like they have
the voiceovers.
Yeah,
They make the big bucks, man.
They have GoPros from Mike, GoPros from Chris, and then they had their guy on the camera on the outside of the field doing what they do, and they're syncing everything.
Yep.
Like
Yeah,
it was
shout out
so
to Rob
perfect.
Monaco, his whole team, Bud Knapp, Audrey, all them.
Yes.
Yeah, no, dude, great. So I know we're going up against it. Craig, thank you so much for not throwing us out of here yet. I appreciate it. But did any of the camera crew play afterwards? Is the last thing.
I wanted them to so bad.
No, like did they even shoot a bunker? Or they were just like kind of business.
Maybe somebody picked up a gun, but they were pretty much all business.
Oh man, that's kind of what you're gonna say. Yeah. Like, at the end of the day, they went out, they ran a 5-minute, 5-on-5.
Yeah, like Audrey was interviewing me, and she was like, what would you say to somebody? And I was like, just go play. Like, you don't know what it's like until you go play. And I think we all know that, right?
Right.
And that's kind of what I wanted. I was like, can you just, like, I was telling him, like, just go put on a mask.
Just
like,
give it a
I'm
shot.
not going to shoot you. Like, you could shoot me.
Right, yeah.
I was like,
I'll give you this.
I was like,
then.
I'm not even going to go out with a gun. I was
Yeah.
like, I'm just going to go out there, and you could just find me and shoot me. Like,
Right.
I just want you to feel, like, what it's like that adrenaline, that fun.
Right, because once you experience it, you don't leave. Like,
I mean, it's a wrap.
it's a
for me.
wrap.
Hooked like a fish.
Dude, right? Right?
Hook,
That's how
line,
it
and
is.
sinker, dude. I mean, so everybody can definitely check it out. Do your spiels. Thank who you gotta thank, but shout out to Fox Nation for putting on a great production. We still have time to get in on this giveaway, so still do what you gotta do. Hit the Facebook like, subscribe, show everybody else what's up. That way, you guys can do what you do. But Nick, go. Thank who you gotta thank. I know we had a laundry list of sponsors and everything like that. And I mean, anything that you guys want to say or promote, the last couple of minutes are up to you.
Yeah, shout out to the team, Master Blasters, obviously Fox Nation, Push, Immortal Air, Carbon Paintball. We got Zodiac, Planet Eclipse. Who else?
Shout out your fields.
My fields, yeah, PSI. We got Top Gun, Battle Creek, Cousins Paintball, of course, and Valken. Valken's huge. Been with us for a really long time. And I'm probably missing somebody, but at the end of the day, the guys really put it all out there for these past 3 tournaments. Shout out everybody. I mean, we all just been doing really well, and I want everybody to keep up doing what we're doing, and everything's been really good.
Awesome, man. What are the social media handles for everybody out there?
Master Blasters _85 on Instagram, Master Blasters Paintball Team on Facebook. So
I'll have the links for everything in the description, guys. So if you're listening to the podcast, it'll be in the info, and if you're on YouTube, it'll be in the info. I'll have the links to everything: their Facebook, their Instagram, and all their personal ones too, for sure.
And that link to Fox Nation, subscribe. If you like paintball, if you ever thought about liking paintball, definitely reach out and watch this production. Definitely something good for the sport. It's 99 cents. If you play paintball and you didn't already pay the 99 cents, then sell a Sandan or sell something, dude. So because I know you guys spend $200 on flex parts, on bottoms, and $100 on tops and shit like that. So definitely,
it's free.
Reach out. Dude, definitely, if you haven't watched it, watch it. Speedball, woodsball, scenario, everybody's watching it, everybody's enjoying it. And if you guys ever need anything, definitely reach on out, either to Nick. Nick's a gracious host, as well as Baskin. They'll definitely hook you guys up for practices or anything from their sponsors as well. So, again, I want to thank Nick. I want to thank Travis Baskin here.
Thank you.
Always my co-host here. Travis DeLayer. We're going to peace on out. Remember to subscribe to the Patreon, to the YouTube. Smash it. Just grow everything. We all grow together, guys. As we're here at Talk IQ Media. Rob always says, the tide rises with all ships. So we're going to peace out with that and enjoy the rest of your day, guys, and play paintball.
Yo, later, guys.
Later.
Take care.
Let the